All right, so Diz Astor, yes, that's his name. Diz Astor and I are having a chat on Facebook right now, and he's asking me about these double cups that I use. Okay, so I just made a video playing some pretty crazy stuff. I just called the video chops, and I didn't say anything, but I played a lot. And this is the double cup that I use. Nobody knows who made it. I have my suspicions that it is some sort of king prototype, or it might be some weird Eastern European thing. What to say about it? It's about 660 in the inner diameter. The rim is rounded and very soft inner and outer bite. It's very important. That primary cup, it's kind of like, it reminds me of a 3E, but the shape is better. There's a little more room at the top of the cup. But then it slopes in to that first shallow cup. And the double cup portion, let me get some light in there, of my Magic double cup is very wide, and the delineation between the cups is actually soft. So in a lot of double cups, there's like the difference between the top cup and the smaller cone, there's usually a sharp angle. This one is a soft angle, so it's a slight, soft shape in there. And then it funnels down to a 32 throat. Also, there's no cylindrical portion, meaning the 32 starts to flare out the moment that it reaches that small shape. There's no cylindrical portion at all. And I think that's very important. The cylindrical portion kind of bottles up your sound, at least for me. And the back bore is relatively small. That's a small back bore, smaller than most. And even the shank terminus, relatively thick. So the energy in the air coming out usually is coming out narrower than the gap of the receiver. So there's less gap happening because the energy is being contained in a smaller diameter than the opening of the receiver. I believe so. I have no way to prove this, but this is just what I think is happening. The horn I'm using right now is actually not my commercial horn. This is a Holton T105S, and I put a Dennis Wick tone collar on the third valve. And what else did I do? Oh, I used a LaFreak tone bridge. So whenever I'm doing commercial playing or extended upper register stuff, or anything where I need to be loud and high and have a lot of endurance, I always use a LaFreak all the time. This is the medium-sized one, and it's red brass gold plated. And I've had it maybe 3 or 4 years, haven't needed to use a different one. Because my mouthpiece plays so bright, I feel like the red brass with gold tempers the brightness a little bit. And of course, this horn is relatively heavy. It has a big, thick 37 bell, and the plating is really thick, and the gold plating is really thick. So it darkens my sound considerably. On a lot of commercial engagements, this is not the horn that I would use. I've been practicing on this because I love the sound, but as I've said already, once or twice already, this is not really a commercial horn. This is kind of like a bright, legit wind band, legit kind of horn. But as you heard in the Chops video, if you watch that, I can do obscene things on it. So, what else to say? We were talking about the double cup mostly. Move my LaFreak so it doesn't fly off. What else to say about this? I found it at the bottom of a used mouthpiece bin at Nodelman Music, and they charged me $5 for it. And I've had it replated one time by Warburton. I think they charged me like $50 or $60 to replate it, and that was like 4 or 5 years ago, so the plating's pretty tarnished. I tend to tarnish up the outside of my mouthpieces, but the rim stays silver. I'm guessing because I touch it so much. The blank is this really nice, elegant It's almost like a cross between like a Giardinelli, a Jet Tone, and a Bach. Like there's like several things going on here. The closest production model that I can think of that's like this is the King S1. However, the King S1 is totally different. It's like a C cup 7, it's like a souped up 7C, which is not what this mouthpiece is here. So I have one other crazy double cup, and it's a little bit bigger. Usually when I play this trumpet, I usually use this slightly bigger double cup because this Holton wants me to move a little bit more air. And so I have this other one, which is, I haven't had this restored. I just got it as a piece of case candy. A guy was selling a Eastern European trumpet from like the 40s or 50s that was really a piece of junk. And I said, hey, I'll buy that mouthpiece off you for 50 bucks. And so he sold it to me out of the case for 50 bucks. Good case of case candy here. So you can see it's very similar to my Magic one. This is the one on the right of the screen is the Magic one. The one on the left that I'm holding here that's a little less tarnished, it's not quite as Magic, but it's close. So this one, I'll put down the pure Magic one and pick up the semi-Magic one. This one, the rim is a little bit wider. The inner bite is slightly more pronounced. It's just a touch wider, not even like what you would call a size wider. It's like very close. A little bit wider, a little bit deeper in the primary cup. So there's a little more room in there. The throat is just as small, it's still a 32. But the back bore is a little bit bigger. You can see the terminus is relatively thin, unlike the first one I showed you. So I can scream on this one, but I find this one works really well double G and down. Like, it's got a thicker, richer sound in the staff. It's actually really good for like, I don't know, wind symphony or playing second or third or fourth trumpet. This would be awesome for anybody who occasionally needs to play high but isn't going to do it that much. You can see, again, that double cup entrance is soft. It's actually even softer than on the first one I showed you. So this one's very interesting. The rim is a little bit pockmarked. I'm actually going to have probably Ken Titmus take just maybe 0.5 millimeter off this rim so that he can make the rim nice and soft without all these pock marks on it. But yeah, I got this out of a like Amati trumpet that was a piece of junk, and I just bought the mouthpiece as case candy. You can see it's very similar to my first one. That's the first one. There's the second one. They're very close. They were obviously made by the same person. All the design elements are all similar. And the gap is similar. So the shanks are roughly identical width here and in taper. So this one's just a little bit bigger. It's a little bit wider and a little bit deeper. So it's almost as magic as the first one, but a little more crowd friendly. It's not quite as insane. So those are I have several other double cups that are very similar to these two, or that are variations, or maybe made by a different maker. But specifically these two, these two are the ones I have in my mouthpiece case right now, and that's because I actually use them. The other ones are projects.